Hey gamers, today we're going to review Colosseum. Let's check it out. Setup for the game is easy. What you're going to do is take all these tokens with the gold backs here, shuffle them up in a bag, and then deal them out 3 at a time here. You're going to divide up the rest of the extra gold tokens among the players there. Any extras, usually sometimes there's one extra you put over to the side of the board, and that'll be the first one you'll use to replace one of these. You'll take all the tokens here with the gray back and put them into this bag, and you'll be using this bag for the rest of the game to refill this little auction area here. You have the round tracker here. The rounds go 5. You have your little score tracker here, and it goes right here on the 100. And scoring's a little bit different, but I'll get to that later. Starting player has this. They have a player board, which easily tells them what all the phases are and lets them know a little general cheat sheet of what all performances you can put on in those 2 stacks and what the requirements are for each one. Every player will start with $30 here, and dollars is in nice clinkety clink metal coins here. They come in 1s, 2s, 5s, 10s, and even $50 coins. You probably want to start with some change there, but everyone starts with 30. After that, you're going to have all of, maybe there's some extra stadium pieces. You'll put everyone's stadium pieces, all these other additional pieces they can get in the game, purchase in the game, your dice, your Emperor's medals. There'll be a ton of these. And of course, these little, I can't remember what they're called now, but podiums or whatnot. You're going to shuffle the 7 and 9 deck here and the 11 and 12 deck here. Shuffle them up, give 1 each to each player at random. So if I start with this one, a 7 and a 12, and then you are ready to start. Now, I should also mention that all of these little characters, the Emperor and all the characters, are on their little starting player colors here. You'll just line them up like so. Now, in this game, it's very simple. You're just going to follow these phases that are so easy. First thing, you're going to do some investing. You're going to take one of these actions. One of them could be to buy a new event. Now, after you have first 2 events, once you play them, you'll flip them over. They'll count as victory points for future events, but you'll eventually need to buy more. When buying more, again, you can look on the back and see what the requirements are for each, or just look through the stack and look through that way. Now, some of them do require bigger arenas. For example, this one can require 3 pieces. So if I only have 2, I can buy this right now. It would cost me 25 coin. It tells me what performances need to be there. I need 3 gladiators, 3 horses, 3 chariots, and 1 decoration. It would give me 32 points. If I'm missing one of these, it's 28 points. If I'm missing 5 of them, it's only worth 10 points. So again, it kind of it has a scale on points depending on how many of these tokens you may have. You may not have all of them. But at the same time, I can buy this even though I only have 2, but I can't perform it until I get my 3rd piece. Same with these. These are for 4 pieces here, and it's a lot more there, a lot more expensive and a lot more performers and set decorations that you need. I should also mention at the start of the game, some people may get these star performer tokens that are over to the right of the board. If you have 3 or more, this is like the longest road in Catan. Like I have 3 warriors. If no one else has 3, then I will get this. If someone else has 3, then we have to wait till one of us get one more. If I get 4, then I can take this. It's a +4 for every performance that these gladiators are in. And you have some for a lot of them, for lions, for horses, for comedy acts, musicians, ships, priests, whatnot. But anyway, the only time someone passes you up if they get 1 more from you. Like if someone else got 5, then I'd have to pass that over immediately to them for future games and whatnot for points they have. So you can buy one of the events, or you can expand your little Colosseum. And to do that would cost 10 coin, and you would just slip it in here like so. Again, you could do that again on another turn, not on the same turn, but you could expand it to up to 4, and that would just allow you to do any of the events, even the 4-place events. Other things you can get is you can purchase a season ticket, which are these little stadiums here. These cost $10. You can put 1 on either side, and they're going to be worth a +5 in victory points whenever you put on a show. When you construct the Emperor's Lodge, it's worth 3 coins, and when you do that, usually in round, I believe it's 4, you're rolling 1 die at a time and moving 1 person. But if you have the Emperor's Lodge, you can roll 2 and move up to 2 people that many spaces on the board. So the Emperor's Lodge is really good to have. Once you've decided which one of these you want, you then move to phase 2, unless you have some medals. And I'll talk about these medals or these type of tokens later. Phase 2 is basically acquiring event asset tokens. What you're going to do, starting with the first player, is they're going to take any of these sections and start a bid at 8 coins. That is the minimum bid you can have. Then it goes around the room and keeps going up and up and up until all players pass. Whoever is the last player to win the bid will get those 3 tokens. Now, after that, that person is out of the bid. And if it was the first player, then they're out for the rest of the bid, and the other 3 players must go if you're playing a 4-player game. But if it wasn't first player, let's say second player got these, well, now first player starts again the bid on a different set of tokens. At the end of the round, everyone will grab one of these, and at least one of those people will grab it for the minimum amount of 8 coins. If you don't have 8 coins, then you're going to miss out on this round completely. After that, it goes into phase 3, it goes into trading. And for trading here, as you see, I have 3 gladiators, so I can do that, but I only have 1 horse. Man, I wish I had more horses. So you can trade any amount of tokens you want. I can trade these 2 and with 2 different players to see if I can get horses, but since I think I need a vase, I may hold on to that vase for right now. Maybe I want to trade it, who knows. But either way, you can trade 1 token for 2. Someone goes, man, I really need a priest. And I say, okay, well, I see you have some horses. You want to trade some horses? They say, sure. So they trade me 2 horses for 1 priest for whatever, I guess. That's fine. And now, huzzah, I have it. So when the time comes, I can put on this event and score 12 points. Now, if he only gave me 1 horse, let's say for that, then I'd get 10 points instead of 12, which may be good enough for me. Either way, though, once the trading's done, then it goes into producing an event. And what you're going to do is roll 1 or 2 of these die, depending on if you have the Emperor's Lodge, and you're moving 1 or 2 of the Emperors around the board. So you roll these and you move them. If you roll something like this, you can move them 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Now, one thing to keep in mind is I rolled a 6 here. If any one of these player pawns land on a color of another player like that, they can land on another color, or if that, let's say the Emperor's gone, let's say I moved him 1, 2, 3, and I moved him 6. Well, whenever I land on there, you will get what's called a medal, one of these noble medals, if any of your nobles land on this. Now, you only get 1 per round, though I'm thinking about making a house rule that if you were able to actually get 2, maybe I rolled this again, I moved this one 6 and moved this one 3, that you would get 2 medals. I don't know. These seem to be hard to get, but right now the rule is even if you got 2 on the same spaces or, on 2 different spots, you only get 1 of these per round. And these can do several different things in the game, and I'll explain these later. But you keep it for now. You can cash it in whenever you want, but that's one thing you do. Another thing you really want to do, as I probably would have just moved him in there, because the more more nobles that you get in your stadium, the bigger the victory points you can get. Like for every, and you can have more than 1 in your stadium. Like for every white guy, I get 3. For every red guy, I get 5 victory points. And if I can get the Emperor himself in there, it's going to be 7 victory points added to my performance. After everyone is rolled, you could be moving people out of other people's stadiums or moving people into yours or trying to move people to hit these spots exactly so you can get some Emperor's, medals to use later. Either way, after that, then it's the closing ceremony. Everyone can put on an event. And so they put on an event. Let's say I put this one on and I'm 1 short, so I got 10 victory points. Now I can add up any other victory points I have. I got 3 victory points here. What if I had added this thing here? I would have gotten an additional 5 victory points. If I would have put the Emperor's Lodge on there, I would have gotten an additional 3 victory points, and so on and so forth. But after that's done, or if I had an Emperor's Medal, I could add and get 3 more points to that performance too. Whatever I have, I add it up, and then I mark it on the board. So let's say overall I had 18. So I mark it at 18. Next player got 15, another player got 20. Whoever got the highest is going to get this little podium, which is a bonus, 3 points for every future event they have, and it's just going to add on to their score. Now, even though I've put the markers here, that doesn't mean that I'm just going to add on to that score for the next round. What happens is you're going to reset this again, and when someone does the next performance, see how high. The more performance you get, the more supposedly spectators are supposed to get. Now, for example, once I finish this, I flip it over, and now I'm going to get a +5 victory points every time I hold an event. So it's basically going to, usually you're going to be moving up the track here, doing bigger and bigger events. You don't add on to it the next time. If I got, my total was, let's say I put this one on, I got 7 plus 5 would be 13, plus maybe some of this, plus maybe I had some extra tokens. Let's say I had one of these, that'd be 18, 19, 20, 21. Well, instead of 20 now, I moved to the 21 spot. Well, I'm purple, so I'd move to the 21 spot. instead of just move up 21 from 18. So that's what you're doing. That's how you're kind of gauging it. You're also getting that amount of money too. However many victory points you made, that's how you're getting cash. And so, of course, that cash can be used in the auction round or to buy additional events. Now, once everyone has done that, then, as it says right here, what you're going to do is you're going to discard one event token used in the latest event. So I use all of these. I got to discard one. Well, doggone. I don't. Oh, by the way, I should have had this one too. I had the +4, so I would have had even more. But either way, let's say if I get rid of this one, then I'm going to lose this, most gladiators. I don't want to do that, so I'll kick off a horse since I used a horse in the event. Then, whoever was last place, so blue was last place, they get to take a token from me. And then we start again with the person who's the furthest up will go first. And then of course, they get one of these, will receive one of the podiums, which will be a +3 in future events. And then you advance the round counter right here and start again. The first player is given to the player on the left, not the player in charge, excuse me, the player on the left, and then it goes again. So same thing, clean up and everything, and then any tokens that were used, you're going to refill from this bag. There are other tokens in this bag here, some of them who have this eagle symbol on it. That eagle symbol is automatically giving them an Emperor's Medal if they want one, so they automatically would get one when they win the bid. If they have an either or here, that means they get an Emperor's Medal or a build. What does this mean? Well, on that first phase, I told you could only do one of these. However, if you had some Emperor's Medals or these tokens, you can cash them in and do multiple ones. So maybe I had, one of these and one of these, and I said, well, instead of I'll buy a stadium, I'm also going to buy, with one, I'm going to buy a stadium. With this guy, I'm going to buy seats or whatever. And with my regular turn, these are just 2 bonuses, I'll get another event. And you can have more than one event, but you just only put on one at a time. So that's what these can do. Other things that Emperor's Medals can do, I already told you, they can give you +3, or you can cash them in to move a particular noble 1 to 3 spaces. Or if you just need money, there you go, you can cash it in for 6 coin. Now, what you're going to do, players are going to keep going and doing this for 5 rounds. At the end of the last round, whoever put on the biggest show wins. And in the rare case of a tie, the person with the most money wins. And that's the game. Final thoughts, what do you think about the game? Well, I should mention real quick that there is a wild resource. It's just like a gem, and it's a token you can use. It can be anything in the game, and I didn't mention that, but that is one other special token you can bid auction on. Anyway, I never looked at this game because the artwork looked horrendous. I hate the artwork. I hate the pieces for it and everything. And I did judge a board game by its cover, and I do that. If it has bad art, I snub my nose at it. But then I've been wrong several times. Archon, Glory and Mechanism. Great game. Awful. I hate the artwork. What's another one? I thought about another one when I was about to do this review. The Council of 4 remake from Simon. Boy, that looks hideous. But it is a good game. I have the older version, but it's a good game. And I need to stop doing that. I need to stop having the art be a big turnoff for me. And that's what it was for this one. But I finally checked it out, and it is great. Possibly a top 100 game too. It's so much fun, so straightforward, so much strategy involved. And when I heard about trades and everything, I was like, oh great, because my nephews never trade. It's every man for himself. They don't care about nobody. No, we don't trade for no one. That's why Catan is so hard to play with them. They don't want to trade for anything. But in this game, you really want to trade. You really want to trade. In fact, my nephew was burning. He gave me 5 tokens of stuff I didn't need. But for one, I thought, well, you know what? I'm not getting anything I need, but I am getting more resources for the next round. And then, of course, on the next round, everyone wanted the tokens that I had, and my nephew needed several of them. He had to trade back for them, and I made him pay for it too. He's like, oh man. But yeah, you kind of lose your mind because you start outbidding. If 2 people are trying to grab some kind of decor, you're like, well, I'll give you 2 horses. You're really wanting to get that one decor. You really don't want the other person to get it. And so there's people bidding for your one piece of decor or whatever it is you got. I love that about this game. Everything about that you're putting on bigger and better events at your arena is great. Like I said, the Emperor's Medals are so good. Oh, there's so much to love about this game. Thankfully, TMG did reprint it, so it's not very expensive to get. If you want the old Days of Wonder version that has much better artwork, looks a lot better, but it's way too expensive, just go for the reprint. Ignore the terrible artwork. Love the game because it is fantastic. Like I said, this is probably going to be a top 100 game for me this year. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!